Men Are Trash is a place women can come to share experiences and combat the feelings of insecurity that come from a man doing you dirtier than the skid marks in his drawers. Kind of like what Beyonce did with Lemonade, except in podcast form. Every week. Think of this show as AA for the battered, brokenhearted, and maybe even a little bit bitter, but trying to get better women of today. And for the guys out there that are listening, don't worry. We're not here to bash you. Okay, who am I kidding? We're here to bash you. We get bashed by members of the opposite sex in more ways than we have the time to name. I'm talking TV, music, the internet, the barbershop, the trap, you name it. Where's our platform to get these jokes off and hit these three-piece combos on the punching bag that we wish was you? Men Are Trash is where we can come together and hopefully learn some lessons and prevent future garbage from entering our lives. You know, like we did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. And at the end of it all, we can turn to our neighbor and say, don't even worry about it, baby, because men are trash. This week on Men Are Trash, I have what would I call you? Like, we haven't seen each other in so long, but you are very near and dear to my heart. Like, you're such a creative being, and I love meeting women who are just so creative and just have a vision that's unlike anyone else's. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. You're very dear to me too. I know like internet friends is kind of a funny thing,
yes.
But really we are like literally we respond to each other's stories pretty much every single
yes, of
time.
course.
So,
like
yeah, that's definitely a special connection for sure. I'm Jenna Josepher. I'm the associate creative director at the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
But that might not have
big
much
titles. Big titles, okay?
And are even trash to people who work at the Times.
Listen, talk about it, okay? We're going to get into it.
And I'm an artist and designer, director, all that stuff.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Jenna. I just wanted to get a well-rounded idea of how trash men are. So I try to bring a well-rounded group of women. And we always start every episode off with an antidote. But first, I didn't do what I'm supposed to do and introduce myself. This is Men Are Trash. And I'm your host, Alexa Leighton. And today we're going to hear some Men Are Trash stories. We start every episode off with a little anecdote about how trash men are and just our personal experiences. And I always have a story because when are men not being trash? And I'd like to hear your Men Are Trash stories. So go ahead and kick it off.
So in the spirit of like high entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell a story of a friend that has still got me reeling. Like, you know when you get to be mad for your friend?
Yes.
And then it's even better when they're really happy that you're mad for them too.
Yes.
And then they get on board and you're both just like mad forever together.
That's like my favorite pastime,
right,
being mad for my friends
Mm-hmm.
and just cursing niggas out that aren't even really in the room for my friends.
Mm-hmm. So my friend met this guy on Tinder and things were going really well. She was kind of new to online dating, but she's, you know, getting to it, like doing a good job growing. And they work in a similar field. They're both teachers. And he lives in Maryland, I think, or just like not in New York, but has a place here in Brooklyn too.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would come to New York sometimes to see her like every other weekend or whatever. And they were always in touch. They were always texting. I saw the conversations, lots of emojis, really going well. 8-9 months go by.
8-9 months. That's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. They were like low-key dating. You know, he didn't live here. There were no plans for that. She's not rushing anything because she's like super chill, not pushy either.
Mm-hmm.
Super like, you know, needs her freedom too. But it was, you know, they were getting really close. And, you know, before he would come, he had this dog, and he would always send her pictures of him and the dog. And then, you know, he would come to New York, and he was like, yeah, I'll be there in a second, just like dropping the dog off at doggy daycare, and I'll be up there in a little bit. He'd come up, they'd hang out, he'd go back, whatever. So, you know, of course.
Wait, he was going back to where again?
Maryland.
Okay.
And then, you know, the social media thing kicks in, right? Because at what point is it okay to like stalk this person's Instagram, to like follow them?
Yeah.
Some people go right ahead. They follow them immediately.
Yeah.
Some people, I've had that happen to me too, like right away before we've even had our first date, whatever. It's different for everybody, whatever your like,
right.
You know, your
I mean, I
is.
feel like I'm definitely the type of person who's going to look at your social media, and depending on that, I might follow you. I might not follow you, but I'm going to look at your social media.
Right,
like,
exactly. And if it's public, you did that. That's your choice.
Like I'm definitely going to look.
So she looked at his social media a bunch, and the dog was, you know, a joint custody dog with his ex-girlfriend. Fine. I don't really understand joint custody of animals, but, you know.
Me neither. Like, what is this? This ain't a child.
No, get over it.
This ain't child support. Like, what's going on here?
I feel like it's kind of a way for people to hang something over their spouse's head.
It
like
is.
Ex's head. They're just like, we still have this dog together, you know?
Like seriously, one of you keep the friggin' dog, and that's that.
Yeah,
move the fuck on.
Agreed.
But anyways.
So, she looks at his Instagram, and turns out like he kind of stopped posting pictures of this dog at a certain point. And all the pictures that he was sending her were the same ones that he had posted maybe 3-4 years ago of the dog.
Oh.
And ultimately we realized there was no dog.
What?
He didn't have a dog.
He faked having a dog?
So she looked at the Instagram, and the Instagram. How old am I? Okay. So she looked at his Instagram, and like a couple years prior, she like goes through. And like this is maybe like 3rd, 4th, 5th time she's looked at his Instagram after these 8 months. The dog died, and he posted about the dog dying.
Are you serious? So when did the dog die?
The dog maybe died 2-3 years before they met.
What?
Yeah. And he posted about like the dog got hit by a truck, and he was just like, I hope that it's like a picture of the dog like after it got hit on the way to the vet. Like, I hope she's going to be okay. After that, it's like a post about RIP.
So what the hell? What's the motive of him faking like the dog's still alive? Is he crazy or is...
I think he was a sociopath. Yeah, because then like one of the days that like he came up, he just kind of, you know, kept kind of like swerving her on like what they're doing, and he was like, oh sorry, I just did a bunch of mushrooms, like I'm not coming over. And then she like she like stopped talking to him. He never reached out to her again. There was no breakup whatsoever after 8-9 months. No breakup. She did all that extra digging. He had sent her like photos that were 2-3 years old of him and the dog, and like but this dog was dead. But like, why? Here's the thing. What's the point of faking your dog, like your dog's life?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right. Like what? It's just like, oh, to buy you an extra half hour on your way up to Manhattan?
I don't understand. I'm like completely speechless. I really don't. I don't know what to call that. Why the fuck would you fake like...
I don't. Especially after that long with somebody, it's like, just stop sending pictures of the dog and be like, I gave it away if you like want the lie to be over.
And she hasn't spoken to him since?
She hasn't spoken to him since.
That's honestly one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard, because I really can't find the motive. Where is the motive?
I don't know. I don't get it.
What? Like you faked having... All right. Like I literally have nothing. I don't know what to say.
Right? I like to find rationale. I like to find motivation. I'm just like, oh, he did this because he was scared. He did this because he's insecure. Like
for 8-9 months though, you're faking the life of a dog? Like, is it... I'm trying to figure out if it's like a mental thing. Like, are you mentally ill, or
mentally ill.
You have to be mentally ill? Because why? Yeah. I don't get it. There's literally... I don't get it. Okay, well, you know what? That's just one of the ways in which men are trash, okay? They do irrational things that we can't explain. I mean, like, I'm sure there are plenty of women out here perplexed at the shit that they're dealing with whoever they're dealing with. They have no explanation. For my men are trash story this week. Okay, this one's a doozy. It's a ghosting story.
And so timely for Halloween.
So timely for Halloween. Like, all these guys want to be Casper. Like, seriously? Everybody want to be Casper. Just dress up as Casper the ghost.
Festive. They're not being rude. That's what's happening.
Clearly they're in the spirit of things. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no damn sense. Like, it don't make no damn sense. Okay, so, and I'm not a person that takes lightly to ghosting. People. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, especially because ghosting was covered on Insecure this past season. And I saw a lot of opinions on Twitter about ghosting, and like some were on the side of ghosting is healthy. You know, you have the right to ghost. You have the right to not speak to someone if it benefits your mental health. And then obviously the people with sense were on the side of like, dude, just communicate. If you can't speak to me, just let me know and I'll fall back. That's the side I'm on.
Well, I mean, ghosting for your mental health makes sense. Like if you're in an abusive relationship.
Right.
A lot of the times we don't use the term ghosting when you're talking about cutting somebody out of your life for being abusive. We're talking about ghosting is just like you're hooking up with somebody, nothing really goes wrong, and all of a sudden they just stop talking.
Yeah.
That's the definition of it.
And that's fucked up.
So who's here rationalizing that that's okay?
People are rationalizing ghosting. I saw a lot of rationalizations on Twitter for ghosting. Like, if you have to stop talking to someone and just ignore them for your mental health, then do it. No, absolutely not. Like, that's not a healthy thing to do. I don't feel like that's even logical. I don't feel like that's respectful at all. And if you're expecting respect after just disappearing on someone, after you were consistently talking to them, you're not getting my respect. I don't know what to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no respect left for you, dog. But so this story, it's a long one. I'm gonna try to condense it. So I was dealing with this guy. I met him years ago when he was just kind of like grinding and trying to make a name for himself in music as like a music exec, like manager, you know, not a rapper or anything, but just kind of like behind the scenes. And we were just like associates, like, you know, cool. I'd go to like, you know, his events that he would throw with his friends, shit like that. And then we kind of lost touch for a while, and then he started managing a really big artist, and, you know, he became rich as fuck. I mean, is as fuck a good adjective? Yeah, I would say as fuck. And so then he contacts me and he's like, hey, you know, I've always liked you. I just kind of never approached you because I was broke. Like, essentially, that's what he was saying. He was like, I was broke. I wasn't in a good, like, financial state, and I didn't feel like I had, like, the right to talk to you then. But now I'm in a better financial state and a better, like, you know, place in life, and I really would like to, you know, develop a relationship. Well, I won't say a relationship, just kind of like get to know me, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously he wanted to fuck because that's what all niggas wanted to.
That's all woven in there.
Right. But, you know, he approached me on that angle, and, you know, I never really found him that attractive, but also I never like really got a chance to know him well. And I'm also not big on looks. Like, I'm very big on personality. So I was like, all right, we can try it. So in the course of trying this, he, like, fucks up a couple times just because, and when I say fucked up, I mean, like, he's a typical guy. Like, a lot of guys don't know how to treat women for real. They do stupid things that they don't really think is a big deal, but it kind of is. Like, for instance, he invited me out one night, and I was with my homegirl. I'm like, well, I'm already out eating with my homegirl. You can join us. He joins us. He pays for our meal, our drinks. We have a good time. Then he goes, you want to come to this party? And it was during Fashion Week. We go to this party, and he can't get us in. Like, for the life of him, he can't get us in. And I'm like, Fashion Week, you know, it's tough to get into certain places. But I'm also not the type of bitch that stands out in front online for mad long. So after a while, I'm like, ugh. Like, we can leave. We can do something else. You know what I mean? But he's adamant about getting into this party. So we go around the back, still having trouble getting in. And at this point, he's also managing another rapper. Not as big as, like, his main client. But another rapper who's pretty known. And he's trying to like, talk to the door person to get us and his client in. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stand off to the side because I don't like standing here amongst the hustle and bustle. I'll stand off to the side. You let me know if we can get in or not. I'm literally standing off to the side with my friend for like 2 minutes. I look up and I don't see him anymore. And I'm like, yo, I asked my homegirl, where did he go? She goes, girl, he went inside. I said, what? So you left me outside the club. You left me and my homegirl outside the club.
Took you to the club.
Took us to the club and left us. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm heated. So I walk back to my car because we definitely drove there. And the thing is, after our dinner, we went to go pick up his client and then drove back down to where the party was at. So I get to the car and I'm like, I'm leaving. But then I get to the car and I realize his and his client's shit is in my car. So my friend was like, if I was you, I would leave it on the side of the street.
Or just take it with you. Either way, don't give it
But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And honestly, maybe like 3-4 minutes later, he came back outside. But I was already pissed. So he was like, we can do something else. But I'm like, nah, I'm going to go home because you didn't even have the decency to turn around and say, hey, I'm going to get my client in and then come back out for you and we can do something else.
He didn't even
He didn't do any of that. So I was pissed. Gave him his shit, left him there. Didn't talk to him for a while. Then it's like we kind of like got back in touch a little bit, but then he like texted me on some late night shit, something like sexual, and I was like, we're not even on that level for you to be texting me this. So we got into argument about that, and then it was just like very rocky. So I would say for maybe like a good 6 months, we were just kind of like he was trying to formulate something, and I was just like, I would try, but he would always fuck it up. So after all that, one day he hits me up and he goes, hey, look, I'm really sorry about everything. I think you're really amazing. I just want you to like come over. I'll cook for you. We can smoke and we can just talk. And I just want to like apologize for everything. And I'm like, okay, I'll come, but I'm literally just coming to talk, smoke, eat, and go home. Like I made that super clear. And he was like, that's totally fine. I got this new apartment in this like high-rise building. Just come over. I'll cook for you. And I'm like, okay. So I go and he's basically like, look, I don't want a relationship, but I think you're an amazing woman. And I really just want to like spend time with you. We can have fun. We can go on trips. We can, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want. And I'm just like,
I don't want a relationship, but I'd like to get married to you and have children.
He was trying to do all of that, but he was definitely trying to like have me be, I guess, essentially the girl that he like, just flies with him places and I don't know, whatever, like buys me shit. So I was like, all right, I was very hesitant. So I was like, you know what? Let me think about it. He was like, seriously, whatever you want, whatever you need, let me know. Like right now, don't hold back. Speak up right now. I'm telling you right now. So I'm just like, I felt like very like cornered.
Yeah,
so
like, where's your preparation time for that?
You know what I'm saying? Like I got to think of like rates in my head. Like what type of figures am I going to give him? You know what I'm saying?
Also, he's asking for something that like you normally build up to.
Exactly. But he's literally saying, I don't want to do that building shit. I just want to.
Like, here's your contract.
Here's the contract, right? I'm going to give you this, this, and this. I just need you to like be around me. And like, obviously, I'm sure he wants sex. Like, obviously, sex was on the table. But it's like, I just want you to be around me. Like, I'll get you shit and we can go experience life and stuff, like fun stuff together. So I was like, it doesn't sound like a bad idea because technically I wasn't really like trying to be in a relationship anyways. So like he kind of like corners me. And then he's like, what do you need? Right? Like, let me know right now. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to start this wig business. So I was like, I could use some funding for that. And he was like, okay, how much? And I was like, and this is where I fucked up because I had no figures in my head preconceived. So he was like, you know what? Here's X amount. And then you let me know what you need tomorrow. Like, just let me know what you need after you figure it out. So I was like, okay. So he literally gave me some money and then we like talked, smoked, and then I went home. Like, that was it. So the next day he's like, come with me. Like, let's hang out. Let's go shopping, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. So I hang out with him. He takes me to the Louis store. You know, he buys me like a couple things. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was cute, whatever. We go out to eat. Like, it was a cute little day. And it was cute. After that, I still didn't give up no draws yet. Like, nothing. So the next day, he hits me up and he's like, let's hang out, and because I'm leaving tomorrow. So we hang out, and it was, like, good vibes. Like, I kind of felt like, all right, like, you know, obviously trying to make up for the other times that he fucked up and was, like, just being plain stupid. And, you know, he kind of just wants to, like, do what he said, like, not be in a relationship, but just kind of, like, vibe, like, experience things together. So I'm like, all right, so we're vibing. And we end up having sex, which is whatever, you know what I'm saying? Vibing. Okay, part of the vibing, it just kind of happened. And so after that, so the next morning, he's like, yo, I'm out. I got to go to LA to handle whatever music business I need to handle. So I'm like, cool. Like, he left me in his apartment. I just got dressed, left. So he goes to LA, and after a week, hits me up and goes, hey, I'm really sorry if I wasted your time, but my ex just called me and said she might be pregnant, and I have to go be a good man and handle this. So I'm really sorry, but I have to go, you know what I'm saying, take care of my responsibilities. And I was like, fuck. Like, I wanted to be mad, but I couldn't be mad because he told me. You know what I'm saying? He communicated. He kept it real. Yeah. And I can't be mad if you're about to have a kid. Like, what? I can't put myself over your kid. Like, obviously you're going to put your kid first.
He made all the right decisions in that situation.
He did. He did. So I could be salty, but I don't have the right to be salty because, you know, like, that was, he told me the truth.
Yeah, you could let it bother you.
Right.
Of course. You're just like, I'm grumpy because this sucks. So I wanted my
I was definitely,
more.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go shopping more. I want to go on vacation. We didn't even get to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So maybe a month goes by and he hits me up again. And I'm already thinking, okay, did something happen? Because why are you hitting me up after you're supposed to be, like, basically a husband now? And he was like, yeah, it didn't work out. She didn't get pregnant. You know, she tricked me. But even after that, I still tried to, like, make it work. Which I thought was really commendable.
Yeah, well, also, like, he was in a situation where he's like, oh my God, we might have a baby together.
Yeah.
And in his head, he's like,
he was being a responsible adult.
Yeah, he, like, got into a gear or, like, a mode. And then even when there was no baby, he was like,
he was still
I really
in that
was
mode.
Committed to this woman. And this is how I'm feeling right now.
Right.
So he seems to be, like, have a little bit of emotional, like, intellectual capability
exactly.
going on.
And I was like, even though I was, like, you know, pissed that I'm kind of, like, being, you know, like, I'm kind of, like, mixed up and not really mixed up in it. Yeah. I'm like, you know, at least he's, like, handling his and he's being a responsible adult. He's being a man. So I was like a real man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So, but he tells me didn't work out, you know, so I'd like to, you know, continue trying to do whatever we were doing before. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? We go back to chilling, vibing, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. A week passes of us, like, you know, vibing, doing what we was doing, obviously having sex. And this dude goes ghost. Like, a week passes, and okay, this is how I knew something was up, because I hit him up. He said he was going out of town. So I hit him up, like, at a time where I knew he probably landed. And I sent him a nude, like a random nude. I was like, I'm going to be cute. Sent him a nude. You know what I'm saying? But an hour goes by and I don't get a response. So I'm like, hold the fuck up. I sent you a nude and you ain't respond? Like, that's disrespectful. That's blatant disrespect.
In a vulnerable position.
So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because now my feelings is like, excuse me, you don't ignore my nudes, nigga. So I text him like, yo, just a simple yo, and the text turns green. So I'm like, okay, like, maybe he's still in the air, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, or his phone's dead. So I was like, all right, at least, like, it wasn't, like, you know, delivered and, like, he just ignored my nude. But he would text me from both of his phones. So I hit his other phone. The same thing. Just a yo. Same thing. It was green. It's like, all right, I'm going to wait a little bit because maybe he's like still in the air or something. Like, you know, whatever. I wait like another hour or two and it's no response. So I had went on Instagram and looked at my stories and could see he's watching my stories. So I'm like, okay, so clearly your phone works because you're watching my shit.
Why is this the move? Every single one.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're always at the top.
Always the first fucking person. So anyways, so I hit him in the DM, like, again, just a yo. He reads it and doesn't respond. So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what did I do? I don't understand. And I wanted to spaz, but I was like, you know what? I got to hold this down. I got to really just hold it down. Like, you understand? My blood was boiling. Like I was hot. My scalp was itching. Okay? My throat was getting tight. I'm over here, like, text my homegirls, like, yo, call this number and see if he answers because I think this nigga blocked me. Lo and behold, my homegirl calls him and he picks up. But she, like, hangs up really quick. And she's like, girl, he picked up.
So did you call him?
I didn't. So after that, I called him and it went to voicemail. So I'm like, it's confirmed. He blocked me. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, now my head is fucked up because I'm like, what did I do? Like, everything was going just fine. You know what I'm saying? You came back to me. It's like I ran you down to, like, you know what I'm saying, get back in touch with you. You came back to me. Everything's going just fine. We're chilling for the whole week. And then you fucking block me? Like, from both your numbers, though. But still, didn't block me on Instagram. Still watching all my stories, just ignoring me when I DM you. So I was like, you know what? I can't spaz because then it's going to make me look a crazy bitch. So I'm like, let me just hold it down. And when I tell you, it took all the energy I had to hold it down and, like, not tweet, no subs, not post on Instagram any subs. Like,
Those are the days I eat like a giant bowl of noodles.
The noodles help because nothing was helping me that day. I was like, are
name.
you fucking kidding me? I had to host a whole event and I was heated. Like, the whole event, I was like, what the fuck? Like, just had me so fucked up in the head. This man blocked me for 2 months. And I tell you, from that moment on, I didn't hear from him for 2 whole months. Not an explanation, not nothing, but I would constantly see it because I didn't block him from watching my stories. I was like, I don't want him to see that I'm, like, mad or hurt. So I'm going to leave. I'm not going to block him. I'm just going to leave everything as it is. And he watched every single one of my stories for 2 whole months, but had me blocked, for, like, my phone number blocked. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to act like I'm living my best life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best revenge. Act like you're not phased. 2 months later, I'm hosting an event, like an album release party for, like, this like indie artist, and I get a text message, and it's like, I'm outside in the black Bentley Yaga. If you want to go get something to eat, let me know. And it's from him. And I'm like, so you block me for 2 months and then pull up to an event that I'm hosting and just like it's all good, text me like, hey, you want to get something to eat? So I was there with my friend and I was like, bitch, what do I do? Because part of me should just ignore him. I should block his number.
You go to the bodega and you get some eggs.
Okay, and egg his shit. I should have did that. Egged his whole fucking shit. Your brand new fucking car, egg that hoe. But he was like,
something to eat.
Okay? Shit. But anyways, so my friend's like, just go. Just keep it cute, but go. And I'm like, I shouldn't even give this nigga the time of day. But I'm like, you know what? I was still in my head, like, I just feel like women, we need, like, closure, or we always need explanations. Yeah. And I felt like I need a fucking explanation. Like, why the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I wanted to ignore him like he did me, I was like, why the fuck would you block me for 2 months and then just pop up? So I'm like, all right, So I'm like, well, I'm hosting. I'm working right now. So you're going to have to wait till I'm done or, just whatever. You can go home. So he was like, I'll wait on you. So he waited like an extra hour. Event was finished. I go with him to eat. We like go to Catch or some shit. So I'm in the car with him and I'm quiet. And he's like he's literally acting like nothing happened. Like we didn't just not speak or see each other for 2 months. And he's like, you're very quiet. Like, what's up? And I'm just like, oh, no, nothing.
What a great question.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously? You want to know why I'm quiet? Like, but anyways, we get there and I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, it's like we're eating sushi. And I'm like, is this nigga really just not going to mention the fact that he blocked me for 2 months? So I was like, yo, what the fuck's good? Like, why did you, what's good? What do you want from me?
I'm already mad for you. This is retroactive anger.
Like, it's here. All like boiling up again. You know what I'm saying?
I have my theories. I'm ready to go.
So he goes, listen to this excuse. I mean, I understand, but I was just going through life shit.
That was it.
That was it. That was fucking it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, seriously, just tell me you got a bitch. Like, it's okay. We were never like together.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, really, it was just, I'm going through life shit and I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't talk to anyone. I'm just looking at him like, am I supposed to respect this answer? Like, am I supposed to be like, okay, you know what? It's cool. We're all going through life shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can name like 10 things right now that I'm fucking going through that makes me want to be antisocial, that's making me depressed, that makes me not want to get out of bed, but I'm still
recording a podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I'm still texting people. I'm still being a regular human being. How the fuck you gonna tell me that you just randomly blocked me for 2 months because you're going through life shit? First of all, I didn't contribute to none of your life shit that you're going through, so why the fuck I gotta get blocked? Like, that's disrespectful. And he's like, I really wish I had a better excuse, but I just don't. Like, this is what it is. And I'm just like, bitches really accept that from you, huh? Like, girls really accept that simple ass, no effort ass, just no consideration ass excuse, right? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. He's like, do you want more food? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'm like, nah, we can get the check. I want to go. He's like, you sure? Like, you can order more, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm good with my little appetizer. I'm ready to go home. So he drops me home. And then from there on out, he's like constantly texting me like, let's hang out. Like, let's hang out. So I'm like, yo, son, like,
we're going to hang out.
We're going to hang out and then what?
Shit. Next time
you know what I'm saying?
Your dog like poops your carpet, you're not going to talk to me because that's life shit. Like, oh, I have to go get my dry cleaning done. I'm going to stop talking to you for a little while.
And that's what I said. And he was like, no, like, it's not like that. Like, I'm sorry, but stop bringing it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're past that. So I hung out with him a few more times, but every single time I hung out with him, he tried to fuck. And I'm just like, dog, you really think you can block me for 2 months, pop up at an event, and then I'ma just give you some pussy? Like, just for, you know what I'm saying? Like, that whole 2 months that you had me legit blocked from both your phones just didn't happen. I'm just gonna throw you the pussy again. Like, whatever. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So you can block me after you get some? So we hung out maybe 3 more times. And after the 3rd time, I just got fucking enraged with him, trying to fuck me. And I was like, literally, you haven't done shit to prove to me that I can, trust you on that level again. That I can even fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Even though we weren't in a relationship, you haven't done not a goddamn thing. Nigga, at least take me shopping again. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Literally didn't even make an attempt to do any of that. It was just let's hop back into it. And I had to really, muster up everything I had and be like, listen, you're clearly looking for the type of girl you can just call over, dig her out, and send her back to where she came from. And that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need something more than that, because there's no way you can block me. You can ghost my ass, give me that lame ass excuse, and then think you know what I'm saying? Here's the pussy on a platter. Here you go. Like, for what? At this point, you've lost all your allure. I've lost any type of, you know what I'm saying, interest in you. Like, literally, you're not even cute. And then now your personality is trash. So it's like, what am I here for? Like, seriously. And you're not taking me shopping or on any vacations. What the fuck am I here for? Like, seriously?
It's in our contract.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, so the contract is null and void? Are you serious? Like, and the thing is, he was always asking me to have sex. Like, always asking me to come over. And, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he wanted to have sex when I would come over. But it's like, it got to a point where I was like, okay, you're really comfortable with asking me for what you want, but should I be as comfortable asking you for what I want? And he was like, yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. Go ahead. So I'm like, okay, well, it's the same thing I asked you for last time. Like, I'm trying to get this business, my hair business, off the ground. Like, what's up? He had the nerve to say, okay, well, is this an investment or a gift? Like, what's my ROI? Like, what's my return on investment?
Yeah.
Return on investment?
You get to still...
This pussy is the return on investment. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you serious? And I was like, you know what? It was at that moment that I was like, yeah, this nigga ain't shit. He's clearly trying to use me. And I'm just really glad that I didn't, like, fall for it and have sex with him again after all these fuck ups. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not the bitch for you. Like, and honestly, we as women need to use our agency more often and just be like, I'm not the bitch for you, because you want so much from me. Like, you want sex, you want attention, you want me to be around you, you want me to make you look good, because obviously, like, I'm some sort of eye candy for you, like, and for whoever you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be times where he would kind of, like, insinuate that, like, oh, like, the U.S. Open was happening, and he was like, I should have brought you with me. So he said something along those lines, like, so I could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, because I look good, and, like, it would look good in front of his friends. And I'm just like, so you want me to be all this shit, but then what the fuck do I get out of it? Like, I get an Uber ride to your crib and an Uber ride back home? No, like, I'm a grown ass woman. Like, that's not gonna work. And this is why men are trash, okay? Because it's like, you try to accommodate them in certain ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to work with you with your little, I don't want a relationship shit, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, because, you know, I didn't want one either. And it was kind of mutually beneficial, but then it wasn't mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
And you still wanted me to, like, go the extra mile and do all this extra shit. And that's not, it's just, no. Like, absolutely not. And it ended up being a fucking waste of my time, per usual. Like it is with all you niggas. And I'm just sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. Okay?
I think, like, what it sounds like, too, is the whole ghosting thing and him being totally unable to communicate with you at that point in time showed, like, a weakness and kind of, like, a lack of evolution as an adult. Like, a lack of growth. Because, like, if your chemistry was, like, a little rocky, you were more, like, in a business transactional type of relationship. It really was transactional. But if it was working well for you guys, that's cool. But, like, you also want to be doing that with someone who you perceive as strong.
Exactly.
And he, by shutting out and shutting off, clearly has no idea how to deal with whatever the life issues were. Granted, like, I know I trivialized it earlier by talking about, like, dry cleaning and stuff, but, like, however severe it might have been, he still needs to be able to, like, deal with that and talk to you about it, or talk to anybody about it, or just say, like, hey, I'm going through something right now. I'm going to drop off for a little while. I'm going to hit you back up later. And, like, before with the kid, you have to understand it.
Yes, I would have respected it. All he had to do was just say, hey, I'm, like, you know, in a really confused space. I don't really know how to explain it. I can't explain it. I don't want to explain it, but I can't really talk to you right now. I would have respected it. I could have been mad. I could have been whatever, but I would have respected it. I wouldn't have been able to show any anger towards him because he came to me as an adult and treated me like a human being and was like, hey, I'm going through XYZ and, you know, dealing with you. I'm not able to handle my emotions and deal with you at the same time. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I would have respected that 100% because, like, I'm sane, okay? You know what I'm saying? So why is it that you feel like I don't deserve that respect, but then you can come to me and ask me to like share my body with you.
Right. It sounds like overall it was a lack of mutual respect with the whole
literally
thing.
lack of mutual respect. And I'm like, at this point, it was just like, it was pretty evident, but then when he asked for a return on investment, I'm like, okay, you clearly are playing with me. You clearly don't see any type of value in me. And I gotta exit stage
left. He went like straight into business mode and totally forgot like what the rest of your whole thing.
And the thing is, and the thing is, he was in business mode when he first approached, like he first presented the idea. Yeah. But it's just like when you first presented the idea, it was mutually beneficial. Now you're presenting this idea, and it only benefits you. So at this point, like I'm just a wormhole, and I can't. Listen, bitch, I'm not the bitch for you to just, stick it in. Like,
I'm not the wormhole.
I'm not the one. No, I'm sorry. You're going to have to find a lower class female or somebody who's just down for that. It ain't me, boo. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, like I just can't with these men. I really cannot. I cannot, because it's like you try to work with them, like you try to like be like, okay, well, like these are like you think they're entering something, and you're both understanding the boundaries and you're both understanding the parameters, and then lo and behold, that's not even what it is. Yeah. So
how can two people be having the same interaction, be on the same date, be in the same room, in the same conversation, and have two completely different interpretations of what's going on?
I feel like it's like not being real with yourself. Like it's not, I don't know, like because it's crazy. Like when you literally lay it out like that, it's crazy because like you're literally having a conversation. You think you're communicating effectively.
You're both there.
We're both there. We're both talking about it. We're both agreeing.
Yeah.
But clearly, obviously it's him because, it wasn't me. But, like, clearly you're not being honest, either with me or yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or he's just like, I've noticed even with romantic relationships, identifying when people don't live in the same reality as you. And, like, that's kind of how I put it. It's not literal, but it is just, like, a mental interpretation of your surroundings. And when people interpret things in a totally different way than you do, or for me at least, I stay away from them. Because, like, there's no way that I know what they're interpreting from our conversation. There's no way I know that they're going to leave the room with the same memory as me. Mm-hmm. So, like, then you're going to get fucked one way or the other with someone's total misinterpretation of what the hell is going on.
It's crazy because you could literally say words that they seem to understand. They're confirming they understand, and they don't. So
when you and I met, I was in a relationship, and that was a monogamous relationship. And my whole life, I realized I've never once asked anybody to be exclusive with me. I've never asked for monogamy because honestly, like we're talking about men being trash, I'm always the cheater. They're actually in the next room. All my exes are recording a podcast called Jenna is Trash.
Right, I want to hear that one. A bunch of hurt men, like, Jenna, I seen her liking other niggas' pictures. And,
she didn't even have a dog. Like, I don't.
She didn't even claim me. Like, what? She wouldn't invite me to Thanksgiving dinner with her family, and we've been fucking for months.
Oh, that's actually true. Okay, so
listen.
So
I gotta pump the brakes.
That boy you met, he was really special. So he was like, "I want to do this," and I was like, "You're special enough. I'll try it for you." After a couple of years, I was like itching. I was like, "Dude, I need this to be happy. I need to like try other things." We don't talk, but we're on good terms now.
Yeah.
He just can't do that. There are certain people who can't do it. It's not for everybody. And that's like lesson number 0 when it comes to dating multiple people at a time. You just like, it's not for everyone, and you can't force people to do it. So I've always been someone who's just like, well, why technically is cheating wrong? It's the dishonesty for me that it kind of causes to happen. It's the lying that people have to do to build around it. But I don't actually think that like sleeping with multiple people is actually that wrong, which is why I kind of got to the point where I am.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Because that's also what a lot of people are doing. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. Yeah. The thing is, it's like I meet so many people in relationships and they're cheating on their significant other. And it makes me lose faith in relationships. But then it's just like, okay, and you try to really analyze like, why are y'all cheating? Why aren't you guys just in an open relationship? Why aren't you guys just telling each other?
Right, exactly.
You know what
Change
I mean?
the rules because you guys are in the relationship and you don't have to just take the template of what a relationship is and apply it to your life.
Mm-hmm.
You two are in the thing yourselves. You make the rules. You're like, we sleep together on Monday nights only when it's a full moon, and on the third Tuesday of every month we can fuck whoever the hell we want. That's a thing.
Right?
If
Don't
you want
call
it to
me
be a
after 5
thing.
p.m.
Exactly. You make the rules. You're the boss of your relationship.
Uh-huh.
Like, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. So if something's not working and you still want to see each other,
Mm-hmm.
like, why not figure out how to make it work?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, so he and I, it didn't work out because he couldn't do the non-monogamy thing, unfortunately. And that was really sad and tough for both of us. But since then I have like one main partner I've been seeing that whole time since then. And then like a bunch of other ones who kind of come and go, or like to whatever degree they want to be chilling with me, I meet them there.
Mm-hmm.
Because also when you're dating a lot of people, or at least for me, this is like not for everybody once again, but like if you're good at compartmentalizing certain things, I can get like really, really, really amazing good sex and cuddle time with one dude, and then like pretty good sex, but like amazing intellectual time with another
Always.
dude.
It's always. They never have the whole package. Never.
Like, and why force them to have the whole package? Why get disappointed with one guy over and over again when you can have like 5 guys and then just like have all the best parts of all of them and not the bad parts?
I be saying this. 100 boyfriends.
100 boyfriends.
100 boyfriends.
New name of the show, 100 boyfriends.
Okay, one boyfriend for everything you need in life. One boyfriend to fix your sink. One boyfriend to blow your back out. One boyfriend that gives head really good. One boyfriend that if you really want to actually have conversation, because a lot of these dudes can't have conversation. If you want to have intellectual conversation about politics, about existentialism, whatever. One boyfriend for that. One boyfriend to massage your scalp. You know what I'm saying? Like, 100 boyfriends. I wholeheartedly agree with women trying to have 100 boyfriends because there's not one dude out here who can give you all that. There just ain't. At least not. I ain't met him.
Yeah, right, exactly. And like, it's not fair to expect that either. Because
one boyfriend to pay your bills.
Right.
One boy, you know what I'm
gonna
saying?
get 100 boyfriends tattooed on me.
100
Just those
boyfriends. You know what I mean? Like, hello. Let's make it a thing. Let's make it a movement. 2019, 100 boyfriends. I got a dude for every aspect of life, every area that I need assistance in.
That's like what all the apps are for anyway. You have one for your laundry. You have one. What do you?
Okay.
My astrology app.
One to take you on vacation.
For emails.
One to meditate
food.
with. One your food. You got a food boyfriend. The one that you just strictly go out to eat with.
Right.
I had a food boyfriend before.
These are the boyfriends.
Okay,
the boyfriends are my apps. There's the Tinder boyfriend. There's the Chase Bank boyfriend.
I had a food boyfriend before, and we legit used to go have some great meals. And then he was like, yo, I'm trying to like, what's up with you? I'm trying to talk to you. And I was like,
you're like, that food was good, wasn't it?
Right. Legit every time. Like, what do you mean? That lobster was bomb though, right? Okay. Why
are you trying to talk about me? The food, man. That's the start of the show.
You want to reconvene tomorrow? Or you want to try this spot tomorrow? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going home after. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're strictly just the food nigga. Like, you can't stop trying to step out of bounds. Stay in your lane. All right. But I just wholeheartedly believe, especially like in your younger years when you're trying to figure out what you want out of relationships and life, like 100 boyfriends, 100%, because none of these dudes are perfect. None of these dudes have all the requirements. And honestly, until you figure out like what, even if you want to get married, because you don't have to get married, like till you figure out the type of dude you want to actually marry, like just
shop around.
You know what I mean?
As much as possible.
Shop around, because at the end of the day, they're all going to have some type of flaw. Like, they're all going to be trash to you in some way. Right. So it's like, why stick with one? And then, you know what I'm saying? When you can just, all right, you're being trash over here, and like you give trash head. Let me go over here and get the head I really need.
And also, when there's multiple people and you're getting all of like these great aspects with them, it really plays down their negative aspects, or plays down like if there's one guy and you have all your focus on him, his issues, his like setbacks or downfalls are going to be so much bigger to you, because those are the downfalls that you're dealing with.
Yep.
As opposed to like, I mean, I also understand to an extent what we're talking about is like not getting that deep into any of those relationships. But also you can do that too if you want to. Maybe you cut it down to like 2 or 3 guys as opposed to 100, and that way you can like
100 boyfriends. It's just a euphemism. It's just a metaphor.
You've got enough time every week to see them.
I don't even talk to 100 people, but like you know what I mean. But have you ever had an instance in which like you felt a man's trashness was like making you trash, like as a person?
Oh my God. Yes. I love crazy people. I love them.
That makes a lot of sense.
I just need the balance. I think mainly the reason I love crazy people is because I hate being bored deep down inside. Like that's a feeling that I've discovered in myself. Like I just can't do it. I'm always late because I'm getting ready to the very last fucking minute in the morning.
Same.
Right? Because if I'm not doing something, what's going on with my life? Like I'm dead, you know? So like I like dating crazy people because it's never going to get boring. And like if you marry a crazy person, like they're going to keep throwing you curveballs until you die. And like you're not going to be sitting there eating TV dinners together, right?
We're such sick individuals. That's really my fear, being bored or like having them get bored of me or me being bored of them. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck is next? Like this is it?
Monotonous, just kind of like, oh, yep, your father loves doing this. Like, okay, cool. You guys are both really boring and this is terrible. Not my parents because they're like insane also. But like, you know, that kind of marriage, the like vanilla, whatever, like everybody just lets it go.
Yeah.
Like, that type of thing. I don't like that. So that's crazy people just like always have some weird shit going on. And I love that. But my longest relationship was with a total crazy person. Brilliant. One of the smartest people, had like a 3.8 GPA, double major, artist, like printmaking, sculpture, like covered in tattoos, rocked a chipped tooth, and like loved it because it kept people away from him, which like, you know, I realize is an insecurity thing and not wanting people to approach you. Fine. But I was like obsessed with it. I was like, you're crazy and dirty and you give like the crazy eye and you're always on 100 drugs. I'm like,
oh my God, like, that's your type. I'm screaming.
Obsessed with it. Obsessed. So, however, like I said, he was crazy and like I had to adapt to live in his crazy world. So by the end of our relationship, I was also crazy in the sense that he was crazy because I needed to be in his reality in order to communicate at all with him. So like it got kind of toxic. It got a little weird. And like at a certain point, you have kind of like a syndrome of like feeling like you need to stay within something because you don't know the outside world anymore. That kind of thing.
Oh, so, that feeling is like is something. It's funny because my little sister's going through that now with her boyfriend, and I went through that when I was breaking up with my ex-boyfriend. It's like that moment where you're like, how the fuck do I function alone? Like, how the fuck do I function without this person? And that's definitely important to figure that shit out. Like, you have to figure that shit out, or else. Like, you can't, like, it's some heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what aspects of yourself did you feel like was changing because of him?
How I thought. Like, my thought process, literally the words that I say to in my head, how I would think, like, oh, if I do this, he's not going to be happy. That kind of shit, which, like, you know me, that I don't give a shit about that anymore. But, like, I was in that where, like, he had reacted poorly so many times to certain things that I did that were just true to me. They were totally harmless things, but because of his insecurity, he got mad at something. Oh, he didn't
Speak on it! Oh my God! Like,
so you start curbing your own behavior just so that they won't get mad. And then when I see my friends doing that, I'm like, you have it's a delicate situation though, because they're in love and they don't get what's
they don't
going
see what
on.
you see.
Right. They don't see it. And you have to be a gentle friend and very, like, every time you talk and you're just like, well, do you really think you should be kind of feeling that way?
Right.
All right. And then you back off for a little bit.
Right. Because you don't ever want to be that friend to be like, break up with him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They're going to cut you out.
Absolutely. Because that happens a lot. Girls, I feel like a lot of women, when it comes to choosing their boyfriend or their friend, they lean towards their boyfriend because it's a different relationship with their boyfriend. They're getting that, they're having sex. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a different type of love. You know what I mean? And it's like, whatever you say is kind of like, well, even though they're venting to you and giving you all this information for you to be making these conclusions, whatever advice you give them that doesn't align with them staying with that person, it brings you guys further apart.
Yeah, you have to be gentle.
And girl, I know that feeling all too well. Like when your thought process literally is like every step you take is like, would he like this? Would he not like this? And I never want to get back to that moment. And I feel like that's something that's like scarred me from my past relationship and like maybe has made me trash in a sense. Like that trashness has rubbed off on me. It's definitely made me better. But it's also, I'm scared to get into another relationship because I don't want to think about what the other person likes. Right. Like I don't want to think about what the other person is okay with. And I don't know if that's right or not. Yeah. Because I feel like relationships are sacrifice. Yeah. And it's like, you know, I like literally I'll like be scared in my head like, oh my God, like if like this dude wants me to be his girlfriend, but if I say yes, I'm gonna have to start like thinking about what's respectful girlfriend behavior. And I'm like still in thought mode. Like I don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like I've only been single for a year. I can't rewire my brain to think like a girlfriend right now. I'm thinking like single bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like
I totally get that. I also like I've been on both ends of that, you know, thing with other guys too. I was dating some guy for a long time and like I thought he knew me and then he also kind of ghosted or like kept icing me out for a little while and I just like whatever. So I can't even. But we did have our closure conversation not too long ago. Can you give me your hand?
Yes.
He literally this the entire fucking time that we're having our closure conversation and like staring into my eyes and just like rubbing my arm and like it was a good talk and then never spoke to me again and was just like, you want to hang out again, right? You want to hang out again, right? You want to do this again? Confirmed. And then I was like, okay, cool. 2 weeks later, I was like, you want to go to this party? I have a flyer. Da, da, da. Nothing. And he totally deaded me.
I can't.
Totally deaded me. He's like so wildly afraid of like commitment or any sort of intimacy. But also like part of what we talked about was him thinking that I wanted a fully committed relationship with him. Part of thinking that like I ultimately was playing long game with him and I was trying to get like into a serious relationship. I was trying to do da-da-da. And I was like, dude, we weren't even close. Like you had no idea. You just got in your fucking head about it.
Yeah.
It's also like a stereotype of women that actually works against us.
Yes.
That we're constantly looking for relationships and shit. And also now that I'm 30 years old, there's a stereotype of like, I have a baby clock inside of me.
My biological clock is ticking. I need to find a dude to inseminate me so I can have a baby before my loins expire.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I know a lot of women who feel that way, but personally I'm not one of them. And he also never really took the time to get to know that I'm not like that, that I don't actually really like kids all that much.
It's like, I don't even like kids. I don't even like them little fuckers.
They're useless. They poop. What do they do? They
scream, make messes. No, I eventually want kids, but like, honestly, that is definitely a pervasive stereotype that, oh my God, she's trying to lock me down. When you can literally say that you're not. Like you can literally, like we discussed before.
Sometimes they won't even like hear, they'll hear you, but they won't let it stick. They'll be like, she's lying. She's just trying to like trick me.
And it's like, you are not even that fine for me to be trying to trick you.
I was like, how dare you?
You're not even all that, boo, for me to be trying to trick you into some shit. Like,
I'm not wasting my best tricks on you.
Okay, like, not you, boo, all right? You don't even got enough money for all that. You don't have it, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously? Not trying to trap you. Oh, you? I'm not trying to trap you. Absolutely not.
But I was thinking when you're saying, like, I'm still in thought mode, like, of course. And I think that there's also a relationship out there where you won't have to get into a new mentality to be in that relationship, where someone loves you for being the way that you are, the way that you are already like, if you love someone, you're going to be considerate of them the way that you feel the need to express love. And then also the right person or right people are going to like give you love the way that you like to receive it too. Yeah. And when you both like receiving and giving love in a way that works for the two of you, like, what is relationship mode? What are rules? Yeah. You don't need fucking rules when you genuinely feel a certain way about a person and a thing.
And I think that I'm starting to like attract that. Like like people that just like me for me, which is good. But I think I'm still have like a little bit of fear of when you get past that like honeymoon phase where they like everything about you, and then they start get down to nitty gritty. Like, these are things I don't like. These are the which become the rules and the boundaries that you have to. And obviously, a relationship has boundaries, but it's like I'm just scared to get to the point that like I really like you, and then all of a sudden here goes these things that you don't like, and I'm like, half of them are shit that I do, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I'm better off just fucking single, you know what I'm saying? I'm better off single. I can hit up who I want, whenever I want, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a difference between being like lonely and just being like lonely for like, it's a difference between like just being legit lonely or just kind of like only wanting someone for the moment in a sense, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know if I don't think I'm legit lonely. Like, I don't think I need anyone. It's just that I have moments of where like, oh, like I wish I had someone right now.
No, totally.
But I don't think I actually want to be. I don't think I'm actually ready to be in a relationship and like make those sacrifices for that person, because I feel like it's gonna be some shit. Like, I don't want it to be like my last relationship where it's like, I don't like this, and this. You can't do this, and this. This makes me look bad, blah, blah, blah. I can't do that no more. Honestly, like, it's either you take me how I am or that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It can be really tough, like, exposing your baggage to a new person. I think that's also about, like, peeling back the layers of the onion really slow and, like, not rushing shit.
Yeah.
Like, people like to get, like, linked, like, what's it, cuffed?
Yes,
what do you monogamous people say?
Cuffing season is among us.
Yeah, they like to
it's
like
that time.
get like so quickly. They're just like, oh, found a good one. Okay, let's get her in. Like, let's go. You know,
let's lock her down. Lock her down, boys.
And at that point, like, you don't know this person's deepest, darkest secret. You don't know what this person is like when they're really mad and hungry and tired
and petty.
Right? Like, maybe that should be everybody's like third date. Is just you don't eat for 48 hours and you're freezing.
That's
and
a
naked,
good one.
And you just see like
they're true.
See how this person starts to argue, and if you can deal with them at that point, like, okay, new podcast.
Starve yourself for 48 hours and then pull up.
Meat locker.
Okay. Yeah. And then come and let's talk about our feelings. Well, I want to thank you so much, Jenna, for coming through to Men Are Trash. You had some really insightful advice for us. We have to bring you back on the next season. But give everyone your social media and where they can find you, where they can find your work, and anything that you just kind of want to promote or
cool. Yeah,
whatever.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a really good time.
Yeah, no problem.
My social media, my Instagram is at Degenerate, DEEJENNARATE. So like degenerative process, but spelled a little differently.
Her Instagram is really cool. Like, I get a kick out of it.
A lot of weird shit, a lot of butts, a lot of boobs. I like butts.
And
butts
boobs, yeah. Boobs. I like the way you present your butts and boobs too, because it's not like
Thank you.
It's not like in a typical way. Like, it's always like it's a boob, but you don't think of it as a boob because it's like suspended in the air with like a blinking eye under it.
Yeah, and Alexa's butt is on there too.
My butt's on there. She made my butt look really good. I don't think my butt even looks that good anymore. Like,
it's
that day, it was like
beautiful.
Y'all oiled me up and stuff, and it was a time. It was a time. So that's it for today's episode of Men Are Trash. I hope you guys got your life with our stories today. And even though men are as disgusting as a pile of garbage left on the side of a sweltering New York City street in the middle of the summer, most of us are still going to go home to somebody's bum-ass son. So don't even worry about it. Because, oh wait, I fucked it up. Even though men are as disgusting as a pile of garbage left on the side of a sweltering New York City street in the middle of a summer heat wave, most of us are still going to go home tonight and lay up with somebody's bum-ass son. But don't even worry about it, because as long as you know men are trash, you're going to be all right. That's it for this week's episode of Men Are Trash. I'm your host, Alexa Leighton. Thank you so much, Jenna, for coming and visiting us today and telling us your stories. Tune in next week, guys. We're on all platforms, and we're out.